Hey comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer. Get ready to do that all-important comic book review so you, the fans, can make a decision what comic books to buy. And today, fans, we're talking about The Walking Dead, issue number 150. That's right, guys. Looks like things are changing a little bit for Rick Grimes. Now, guys, just to let you know that this is a recap slash review. So if you guys do not want this spoiled for you, please read your copy first. Then come back and share your comments with me on what you thought of The Walking Dead issue number 150. So, book is written by Robert Kirkman. The artwork is done by Charlie Adlard, and the gray tones are done by Cliff Rathburn. Artwork, again, is always really consistent in this book. Here we get to see Dwight taking off on his horse. And we get to see some beating going on with Rick Grimes. So there's a lot of action that goes on in this book from the very start, and it's a very gruesome and gory book right from the get-go. So artwork is phenomenal here, and I'll explain what happens in the story in a second. So what did I think about the story? Let's talk about the story. Let's talk about a little speculation. So, first things first is we wind up seeing Dwight. He's been having this struggle about hanging around the Saviors, being the leader of them, and he finally decides to leave. And he winds up taking his little friend with him, Laura. So he winds up leaving, and it looks like he's heading back to Alexandria. And we find out here that Rick is talking to Eugene in the issue, and he's saying that we need a military, somebody that's going to back us up. And Eugene was like, I completely agree. We can have our most bloodthirsty people become this military and have our people rally behind our troops. It will really get them pumped up and ready to go. So just as Rick winds up having this talk with Eugene, we wind up seeing that Rick gets called in the nighttime in the shadows, and right away he winds up getting pushed over to the side, and you wind up seeing that he gets the piss beat out of him, and it was just crazy because the guy, what's his name was I'm trying to remember his name, Morton. He winds up taking Rick's cane and he winds up pounding him in the face over and over and over again, and it's just like, oh my god. And his accomplice here, Vincent's like, Morton, you gotta stop. And he's just like, no, fuck this. He's too scared. He does too much talking. And then what happens is it becomes a fight between the other two guys, and Morton winds up punching out Vincent, and the next thing you wind up seeing is Morton winds up going to try to finish Rick off, and Rick, in desperation and just about to black out, he winds up biting his neck. And just right in the vein there, and sits there and bites and bites and bites, and he winds up just, the blood comes gushing out of him, and then he rips his skin off of his neck just like a zombie would. And you don't see any zombies in this issue, but this is pretty much the closest thing you can see it. And you see him spit out the flesh. I was like, oh my god, that is insane. And the dude just bleeds out. Vincent just runs away, and the guy just lies helplessly on the floor. And that was like the first 10 pages or so. For some crazy reason, we see Andrea walking around in her house, and we see Lydia and Carl doing the dirty here, and she kind of just sits there and is like listening in, and then she's like, oh damn. And then she kind of just like walks away. She kind of can't believe it's actually happening. The book does a really good job at showing like how it would be with Rick when he's coming out of his when he's coming back into consciousness, and the first person he sees is Maggie, and they're like, are you gonna be okay? Is everything okay? And you find out he loses a lot of blood, but he survives the battle. And they're like, go after Vincent, and they see, they're going after him, trying to capture him and everything. And the next thing we see is Maggie brings him to his feet, and he feels that he has to make this speech to the people, and he has to show them that he's bloody and that he's going to go all out for his people. And he shows that, you know, that we have to be strong and I'm here to protect you. And that's the reason why I was so hesitant, because this place is so fragile and I don't want to lose it. And he sits there and says, we're going to get a military and we're going to, you know, go to war and kill these whisperers. And he starts taking it to the next level. And you're witnessing a dawn, a birth of the new Alexandria here. And this is something that Negan would say, because Negan's been whispering in his ear. And what happens is they wind up catching this guy, Vincent. And what happens is he puts him on his knees, you know, hands behind his back, something that maybe Negan would do. And you see the cane in his hand. And I was thinking, oh shit, is he going to pull a Negan and just freaking hit him with the cane a whole bunch of times until he dies? But that wasn't the case. He's going to sit there and he says, give me your hand. He's like, I'm not going to kill you. We need to work together. And that's when he proposes the new army, and everyone rallies behind Rick Grimes. And they're like, Rick Grimes, Rick Grimes, Rick Grimes. And they're all in his good graces again. And he's becoming that leader he once was when he first started. And the next thing you wind up seeing is you have Negan that sits there and says, attaboy. Which is awesome, because if it wasn't for Negan, Rick wouldn't be in the situation that he's in right now. And it's like Negan leading through Rick. It's like he's manipulating Rick, telling him what to do behind the scenes, and he follows it. So what's going to happen in the future for The Walking Dead? Do we see a more brutal approach from Rick Grimes and his crew? I mean, they're forming a military. What happens when you form a military? Any threats that come, are you going to eliminate them? This went from a more softer approach, how we don't kill anybody or punish anybody, to now we're going to kill all our threats, which is a totally different aspect. And Rick sits there and he talks and says, we've become weak since we've done this, taking things for granted. So now he feels that he must be strong. And again, that's all of Negan that is talking. So we're going to see what happens, but we could take a much darker turn now for Rick Grimes. And what's Negan's part going to play in this? I don't know. And then we got Mr. Carl Grimes hitting it up with Lydia. Can you see a future pregnancy on the horizon? Maybe so. So we'll see what happens with this. But this was a good read. It was a double-sized issue, but the first 10 pages were super, super quick. So just like in every Walking Dead book, it read very quickly. So at the end of the day, I'm going to give this one a 4.75 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. Couldn't get that 5 out of 5 because we've seen a lot of talking going on in this book with Rick talking to a crowd, and it's been done over and over a little bit too much. And again, it read almost too quick for me. But a great read nevertheless, and I really enjoyed this series. So guys, tell me in the comments below what you thought of The Walking Dead issue number 150. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Where do you think you're going to see the direction go for this comic book? And fans, as always, thank you for watching Comic Book Corner 2.0. And until that next comic book review, you can check out Comic Book Corner Old School, where I review classic comic books, and you can check out my group channel, Comic Frontline. And fans, again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in that next review. Take care, guys. Bye.